It's all happening. Teams are starting to move around. They're starting to make trades. The Chiefs might not be one of them yet, but they might be one of them. We're going to get into scenarios, answer all of your questions. This is Q&A night here on RGR Football. Let's get after it. Welcome back, everybody. It's RGR Football. Ryan going rogue with my friend Dan Harms, my right hand. How are you, Dan?
I'm all right. If most of you follow me on Twitter, if you don't, I may have torn my ACL. That's something that very well have happened last week. So it's a little uncomfortable, and I have to wait until April 20th to find out. So yeah,
I'm sorry to hear that.
But other than that, I'm all right. We're trying to get this draft guide done, and I'm just teetering on insanity just a little bit. But
that okay. Makes two of us. Folks, we have some help. I don't know if they want to be named yet, but we have some other folks helping us out. But Dan and I are doing a ton of this draft guide that we don't normally do. I usually do film grades, and I don't put them out. I keep them for my board. I explain it on my board why I make selections. But now you're actually going to see our grades when I get all the graphics done. We are aiming. We are getting closer. I don't think we're going to beat Dane Brugler, but no. We're going to be within the week, I do believe. So you can get all of that over here where you can get the Matrix. That's rogueapc.com. And that code RGR22AM, that's for the Matrix right now. Gives you 20% off. You're also to get that discount when you get the draft guide as well. Obviously, a much bigger document, so it'll still be the same hard number discount. Use that same code. Make it easy. Don't be bashful. I get a lot of people saying, hey, I want to support you. I'm not going to use the code. Use the code. That's what it's for. Make your life easier. You know, that's kind of the point. We appreciate the support around here in all ways, including the gear. I don't have the gear on tonight. We're going to celebrate, or at least I am. National championship game tonight. If you are a Mizzou fan and you're already pissed off that I'm wearing this is my alma mater. I get to have a night. Okay.
He's allowed. He's allowed one night.
I support Mizzou when they're doing well. Support KU when they're doing well. This is particularly meaningful for me tonight. I want to shout out my friend Jonas Serration, who was a GA with me back in the day, and he's still currently the Tar Heel strength conditioning coach. So I hope that they do very well and they just lose by 1 point. That's my hope. So at the end of the day, that's the result that I'm looking for. We're going to get into your questions. You can like, sub, and hit the bell if you are new, because we're going to go over everything Chiefs related, some scenarios, some questions, all of your questions tonight. If you super chat us, you will definitely get your question answered. You personally. If you do super chat, please say or ask something so I can get you something for tonight. Everybody else's questions, we're going to answer all the questions, but a lot of you guys are going to ask the same stuff. So not everyone will get on screen, but we will answer all the topics. I guarantee you that as well. So they're already stacking up here. And I do want to say thank you very much, because you guys started before I was in here.
Yeah, right.
Rumors about the possible DK Metcalf trade hold any truth? I have talked to people in Seattle, and it is a tight ship up there. I'm not hearing any rumor, yay or nay. And it really sounds like it's within the organization. We're not going to know until we know. Do you have anything to offer?
I think I've seen a couple of DK Metcalf's personal tweets. That doesn't usually mean anything, but he has denied any involvement of seeking a trade or the organization trying to trade him, at least to his knowledge. So as far as we know, it's, you don't know.
Yeah. At the end of the day, while the player's involved, he's still in a rookie contract. He doesn't have a no trade clause. Like he's not in a position to drive this thing. So could it happen? Sure. No. Should it happen? I mean, right now, Dan, are you happy with trading a first round pick for him? Because I think that's what it would take.
It'd take more than a first round pick. Not only we're talking about like a first round, probably like a second or a third, and then the 25, 24, 22, 23 million dollars a year that you're going to have to pay him anyway. That's how this is. That's how this works now. Like the Chiefs went out to try to improve the depth on their roster by trading Tyreek Hill, getting more picks, and to come back and just kind of undercut that would be outside of the realm of possibilities, in my opinion. But
agreed. I am with you there. Canadian Chief, thank you. Our first super chat of the night. Thank you very much. We appreciate the support. With
Thank
Eagles
you.
getting rid of 2 firsts today, 16 and 19. Who do you see the Chiefs hitting for a trade? Well, they did give up those, but they got 18 back, so they still have 2 in the first round. It's Eagles Saints there. In that, what is it? I can't remember. I think they start at 15. Yeah, they start at 15. And so between 15 and 19, they still have 2 picks. I would still be calling them.
Yeah.
If you want Jameson Williams, I think 15 is now within striking distance, because this signals to me, and we're talking about this on Locked On Chiefs today as well. If the Saints are going to do that, they now have 2 firsts. I think they're putting a package together to go up.
Man, in this draft, you're going to do that?
In this draft, for a player in particular is my guess. But that's great for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Because it opens up more trade possibilities. And so I think at 15, if they're going up for a quarterback, that pushes at least one player down. Somebody else does that, it pushes another player down. Like the Chiefs have more of a shot at Jameson Williams. They also have more of a shot at an edge rusher like Jermaine Johnson if the quarterbacks push everybody down. So I think it's a great thing. So I think they still could hit up the Eagles. That would still probably be my preference. I think they might call Bill Belichick too. I think they might be able to get decent value there.
Yeah, it's a really good spot too. Especially, I think that they're comfortable moving back. They just went and got a receiver, Devontae Parker. So they're probably not looking at one because Bill Belichick can't draft one to save his life anyway. So yeah, I think that's a good spot.
Yeah, okay, I like it. Let's see, YT Pluited. I think that's how you say it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Y'all want Pickens, Burks, or Sky Moore at 29 to 30 because Williams ain't going to be there unless we trade up, right? What's your thought, Dan?
So if I have to pick between these 3 guys, give me Pickens at 30 over Burks and Moore because he's more of a finished product based on what I'm seeing. But if I don't have to pick, I'm not touching any of them. Like maybe Burks, maybe. Like
I wouldn't, even if we got it in my head, I wouldn't touch any of them with 29, 30. None of them are first round picks to me.
So I would take Burks at 30 because of what he could be. Like I would be pretty okay with the idea of him. Maybe especially if the Chiefs, they just got bigger at wide receiver, right? If they want to start throwing the ball down the field a little bit more with more back shoulder throws, maybe a little bit more 50-50s, then Burks makes a lot more sense, especially given the fact that he can create after the catch too. That makes sense. And I'm okay with that. I like that idea. And again, that's if you have to think the way they got bigger at wide receiver, that's going to be in the cards this year. I think it has to be.
I can't argue. Cole, who in your mind should be getting first rounder that isn't Buzz? Side note, RCJH. I don't understand.
Rock Chalk Jayhawk.
Oh, thank you. Good Lord. See, I don't ever say that. Thank you. Appreciate that, Cole. Is there a guy that isn't getting it that you think should be?
Like, man, I think most of the time people are getting first round buzz that shouldn't be getting it.
Me too.
Should be getting, yeah. I don't.
Last year I had 20 graded in the first round, and that was the most I'd had in 4 or 5 years. This year's going to be less.
Yeah, like if Pickens was fully healthy, he would be, but he's not. So I don't see anybody that should be getting buzz as a first round pick that isn't, because it's a down year. I think probably under 20 first round draft grades is what I'll end up with, under 20, because I don't think that there's that many first rounders in this draft. And in terms of scale,
I'll give you 2 ideas. One, I think Roger McCreary's been penalized for his body type a little bit too much. I think he could be a 30s pick, including 30 or 31 or 32. I think the same thing for Cam Robinson in that range. Not Cam Robinson, Cam Thomas, who his testing today kind of confirmed what I saw on film, that he's right on the edge. Is he a top of day 2 guy? Sure. Could he squeeze in there? Yes. It's like right on the edge if you really like him. Both those guys, I think, are in that range.
I'll say Jalen Petrie, like as the last pick in the first round, that area, because of the versatility that he brings. Not only can he play safety, he can play strong safety, he can play dime backer, and that's valuable. These kind of things are all valuable in the NFL. So I will say Petrie as a as a guy who, because of his versatility, brings you such a different array of things as a first round.
Yeah. His versatility is key. Yeah, that's a good call. Thoughts on Jesse Luketa? Have you watched him?
I have not. I've listened to a few interviews with him. I've listened to him talk about his play, which gives me a little insight into what he did, which is literally everything. So he's a guy who has a lot of tools. He's not refined anywhere. He just kind of like, they were like, hey, go do this, go do that. And he was like, you got it, coach. Give me a player like that on my team. I will take that kind of guy all day long.
I will take him too in the 3rd round.
Exactly. In the 3rd round at pick 94. Come on down, Jesse. Come on down.
Because I will tell you this, there are times in Mobile that he flashed as one of the better pass rushers.
Yes.
But it was terribly inconsistent. And like you said, he's been asked to do a million things. He needs to be at a position and be developed. And I think he can offer you something. And as a 3rd round investment, I'm fine with it. In fact, I just watched Ebiketie the other day, and I watched it at the same time too. Yeah, as a Sam overhang that can just all of a sudden crush up to that line of scrimmage and get off the edge. Yeah, I think
right there thinking about that.
Right. Thank you, Cole. Thank you, Lucas. Oh my God, you guys need to look at Georgia freshman Brock Bowers. No, I don't. He's not eligible for 2 years. Bro.
Yeah, right. He can't even play in the NFL for 2 years.
Right,
and that's the problem. The dude can play in the NFL tomorrow, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, he's impressive. And I'll tell you this, for those of you who don't know, my family are Georgia Bulldogs, a significant portion of my family. So I've been hearing about him basically since fall, like August.
Yeah.
So yeah, believe me, he will be at the top of a list here as soon as he's eligible. It's just going to be a bit. Chris Weeks, just for you, Rockshot Jack, thank you. See, I just don't do the abbreviations very well. Cole, I'm sorry. That was pretty terrible. My friends will give me crap. Casey Masterpiece, hope you're doing well. Does the Eagles-Saints trade have implications on how the draft is going to go for the Chiefs and how they decide to move? It does take away one of the options from trading with the Eagles, but I also expect this. I expect the Saints to put those 2 picks together that they have now and go up somewhere else. Could it be the Lions? Could it be the Giants? Could it be somebody that's in front of the Carolina Panthers, who evidently are nearly as high on Malik Willis as the Pittsburgh Steelers are? I think so. And if that happens, then I'm calling whoever that is. Because if you're willing to trade out of the top 5 down to 16 and 19, you're willing to give one of those up for a couple of ones. Easily.
Maybe.
Oh, I think they'd be open to it. If you're willing to move that far down.
Why would you want to give up both of your first-round picks, though, to go up to get one guy?
I'm just saying that's the going price.
No thanks.
If Jameson falls to 15th, they're going to go try. And I can't blame them for it.
I'm less convinced that they will. And that's not because Jameson Williams isn't the best receiver in this draft class. I fully believe it's because they want 2 players in the first round, or the equivalent of, whether it's trading a first for a player they think is that like that caliber and then selecting somebody in the first, or it's keeping both of their first round picks.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still of the mindset splitting when you're tight like that, splitting them still makes sense to me. Move up, move down with somebody. I would still like to see that.
Issue like going up, but I'm talking about not giving up both first rounders. Like a
no, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's the insolence with that 2 1s and then a third or something like that. That would just be too much for me.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling they'll check. But that's the big implication, Casey. I think it changes who the trade partners are, but I think there's still trades to be had if you want to go do it. Joe, what free agent moves would you like to see us make? I'd bring in Gilmore. I'd take him over Bradbury is my thought. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I keep cutting you off.
You're all right, man. I think we got a little delay. Go ahead.
I think we do. It's unfortunate. We feel like we always find a way to get some delay in there, but I think you have to rework Bradbury's contract if you trade for him, which I'm not pretty comfortable doing that. I would much rather take it a year or 2 with Gilmore than have to rework a guy's contract in Bradbury who's not going to – I don't think he's ever going to get to the point where he was in 2020. I don't. So take a shot on Gilmore.
They have to cut him. I'll just wait for that. Thanks.
I think they do too. I don't think they have a choice.
Yeah. And then obviously I would sign Melvin. I'd sign him now and tell him you don't have to come to OTAs. show up to camp. You don't have to practice. Just be with the guys. You know what I mean? Like, I'm okay with that because I think it's a veteran, like, I don't want to go to camp kind of thing.
Yeah, probably.
So just sign him and get it so you don't take a chance at losing him is my big thing. Panthers, they have no day 2 picks. How much would you have to give up for DJ Moore or Robbie Anderson? I wouldn't give up a first rounder for Robbie Anderson if you had a gun to my head. I'd give up 94 for him, maybe.
No.
DJ Moore, they're not going to move. If they have any chance of not getting fired this year, they have to get a quarterback and they have to be able to throw to DJ Moore. And probably Robbie Anderson.
I don't even know if quarterback is necessarily a play for them this year.
Everything that I'm hearing, it definitely is.
Probably, I don't know if it is at 6. I'm not.
That's all they have.
On that.
That's all they have to like
moving back.
Oh, right. Oh, so you think they are moving back? Okay,
I think they could. But they have to pay Sam Darnold. Like they don't have a choice. They accepted his 5th-year option. They were like, well, we're going to do this anyway, and decided they were going to be dumb. Unfortunately, it didn't work out with Sam Darnold. But yeah, it's a weird situation, and unfortunately, DJ Moore is not going anywhere. I would love to have DJ Moore in this offense. He's so good. But I wouldn't touch Robbie Anderson with a 10-foot pole. I just wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's thin. It's very, very thin. I've kind of gone over this already, but Dan, any further thoughts for Cody on that trade itself?
The Eagles just are gearing up for 2023. Like that's what this is. This is them saying, "Hey, Jalen, you got 1 year, bud. If you got anything in the bag, this is the year to do it because guess what? We got 2 first-round picks next year, and I'm going to draft your replacement with one of those." They just told him to his face without telling him to his face. This is what you got. This is it.
Sounds like an NFL executive. Yeah.
Yep. That's what it was, man. Like,
Josh, thank you. If you guys had to pick one position to double up in the first, what is it? Edge.
Depending on the run, it's probably edge, but I would be very tempted to double up at corner if Kyer Elam is there and one of my other guys is there. I would be very tempted to double up at corner. Very. Myself. I know the Chiefs won't do it. I would be very tempted.
No, and I can see that too. Elam's not one of my first round grades, but like say McDuffie and Booth were there or something like that. I mean, I would scream to the podium like a little baby.
If Booth falls and he's not a Chief, I'll be upset. I will be very
upset. You and me both. Okay. Like he's pushing himself and I haven't gotten to all the corner film yet, folks, but Booth is pushing himself into consideration for the top 2 for me.
He's so good.
I know, right? At everything. Like I haven't found a weakness yet. So, Aaron, didn't you used to work up there or cover Seattle? I used to live up there. I never covered them, to tell you the truth. No. Juju and MVS are both 6'1", 204 plus. Yes, that's correct. And have 10-inch hands. Could this be something to watch in the draft? Isaiah, I mean, it could be. It seems they want to be bigger, but I won't rule it out either. Like I expect them to probably select multiple wide receivers in this draft. And I think if they really want the scat kind of like, you can't keep up with me when I change direction, you could probably get what's his name, Calvin Austin, in like the 3rd or the 4th, and he has the change of direction that Tyreek has. He just doesn't have the flat out speed. Jameson Williams has the flat out speed. You don't think he lasts that long?
I think
he's 172 pounds.
I'm telling you right now, NFL teams don't care. He's gonna go like close to the end of the 2nd, top of the 3rd. That's where he's going.
Dang, that's nuts. I mean,
they
Stiff
love
Breeze
it, man.
Could hurt him. He's DeAnthony Thomas all over again.
He's Tutu Atwell.
He's
better.
Right. I was gonna say, like, DeAnthony Thomas wasn't a fair comparison. He's actually a better receiver than DeAnthony was.
Yeah.
Thank you, Holly. I appreciate the support. I'm glad we're all here. And I'm glad that the Mizzou fans seem to be supporting as well, or at least not, shouting at me. So I appreciate that too, you guys. Stacking up some more here. Let's get to it, folks. If you want to help the channel, super chat us. I'll make sure that you get an answer. Get some gear in the RGR store. Go buy the draft guides and the Athletic Matrix. Those are all ways, and we appreciate everyone that does support us. There's a lot of new fans in here. If you just want to hang out and be with us, like, sub, hit the bell. And if you want in the Discord, the actual discussion between us and the hardcore members, you got to join at the rookie level for the memberships. You can grab that and then just send me an email at rgrpodcast@gmail.com. Super, super easy. Makes life good. Big Jack, seems like the Gilmore talk has gone dry, and there's been more about the Bradbury trade. I would rather have Gilmore myself, but that's just me. Better player without spending the draft cap, yay or nay? Yeah, I think we both agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
The question will be, if Bradbury gets released, he's likely going to be cheaper than Gilmore.
Yep.
So that makes the difference. Brian, thank you for your super chat. We appreciate you. Think of possibilities when defensive line is upgraded. We had our chance at the Super Bowl, even with the line as it was last year. That's a fair point. And that's why, like, for those that mock the Chiefs draft or moving up to 21 with the Patriots, or what was it? I think I saw somebody mock us to 25. If they do that and Devontae Wyatt's there, who I think is the best interior pass rush guy in this draft, I'm okay with that too, because at the end of the day, you have to build it across. And if you have another pass rusher next to Chris, it frees Chris up more often, is my thinking about it. So do you disagree, Dan?
No, I don't disagree. I'm actually, what I did in my mock draft, which you guys will see tomorrow, is something similar to that effect. I got a steal at 50, in my opinion. And I was just like, yeah, I'm going to walk away and I'm going to take it. So I do think that that's one of the ways that you can really help out your defensive front and help out your corners, because you're going to be relying on mostly inexperienced or not top tier players. And the way you can help them out is by forcing the quarterback to either throw it up or get hit. And that's one way you can do it.
Yeah. Take that hit, kid. That's what
right?
I'm talking about. Sorry, Russ. Welcome to the AFC West. Brian, thank you for your support. Appreciate you. Scott, at what date do we hit the panic button if we don't see a trade announcement? Day 3 of the draft. I think they will trade during the draft, is my thought.
I'm never hitting the panic button if they don't trade. And I don't know. I'm okay sitting if they like the way the board's falling. I'm okay with it. I'm not going to hit panic about trades.
They do have 12 picks. So if they're like, screw it, we're not doing anything
right.
more in free agency, we're drafting everyone. You know that line from The Professional, that old movie? Like, everyone, get me all the DBs and all the edges. Okay, I can live with it. You're too young for that. I'm sorry.
Probably.
Go watch that. It'll change your life. Go watch The Professional.
Oh, okay.
How do you guys feel about Logan Hall and George Pickens? Hall is an interior player for me. I keep seeing him mocked as an edge, and he's not.
Yeah, interesting.
I think he's a day 2 guy. I think George Pickens is a day 2 guy, only because of the injury. Like, I feel like that's why he didn't do more this last season.
Well, yeah, it's clearly why he didn't do more. He got barely on the field. Like, he was barely used. He clearly wasn't fully healthy. And then while he's not fully healthy in the national championship game, he said, hey, Alabama corner, I'm going to run by you anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah, George Pickens would be a first-round draft pick. He was healthy. And if he falls to 50 and you haven't taken a receiver, do it. Do it. Joseph, thank you. I appreciate that. Don't have to say rock chalk. I just appreciate the kind thoughts. Justin Smith, not so happy with you. Yes, I see the chat. Come on now. Let's be supportive of each other. I support you guys. Rifleman, what are the realistic chances that Jay Wilson will be on the board at the 29th pick? 0. I have read that some of the mock draft machines still have him available. Then they're wrong. Yeah, I think he's going top 10, guys. I really do. I think he's going top 10.
Everybody seems to think that his ACL recovery is the best that they've seen in 10 years. I've heard that from 2 different sources. Yeah. Even if it isn't true, he's already running. He put out visual evidence last week that he's already doing drills.
Insane.
Yeah. He has a couple things going for him. He's got a naturally thin build. And if it wasn't for how like aggressive he is on the field, I would have been nervous about that with another player. And he's a guy that doesn't carry a lot of extra weight. So, like, that's great for his recovery timeline. He's going to be fine. I'd love to say that at 21, if you moved up to 21, that the Patriots, that you could get him, but I just don't think you can. I think it's 15 or bust if you want to get Jameson Williams.
And I don't. I really see. I even think that the Saints might be moving up to go get Jameson Williams.
Do you really? Okay, and that's a fair point.
I also just saw he visited with them last week, and then this week they make a move. They went and brought back Jameis Winston. They're hopefully going to have Michael Thomas back. Maybe they're thinking of pairing the intermediate to intermediate guy with a deep guy for Jameis. So I really do think that Jameson Williams, given everything we've been told, that he's probably going to be ready for the beginning of the season. He's going top 10. I really think so.
I'm with you. Steve Galliard, what do you think about Lloyd out of Utah? He is linebacker 1 for me. I don't know if he is for you, Dan.
Yes, he is my linebacker 1.
And I will tell you, he's ahead of where Fred Warner was right now when he came out. So he has the potential to be all pro and then some. I actually see a little bit more of like Darius Leonard, a little bit more of the aggressiveness, like the explosiveness.
I get that.
When they send him off the edge, I dig that too. Oh, man. I just watched the Oregon championship game again the other night for a different prospect. But if you guys want to see that, go watch how he stabs into the backfield in the second quarter. It's impressive. He is a great player, and I'm really excited to see wherever he lands. Chris, thank you for the support. We appreciate you. First round, Williams and Boye. Second round, Watson at 50. Peter in the second pick in the round. Peter.
I don't know who he's talking about.
I don't either. CB and maybe Elijah in the third, along with Austin the third. Thoughts? Elijah who? Chris, I am trying to keep up with you, but I'm not following. Williams, Boye, I'm with you. If you can move up with 1 to get Williams, great. Boye at 30, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Watson at 50, I'm good with that. I prefer 62, but I can live with 50. I just can't live with 30, okay? Dan, I don't even think would do either, right?
Honestly, I am personally not drafting Christian Watson until 64 at the very earliest. I'm not taking him before that because I'm going to get somebody who I can count on to produce this year at 50. That's not going to take 2 years of development.
I'm with you. I'm a little more optimistic on the development timeline. I think he can do it in a year, but it's still pushing it. You know what I mean? I like Calvin Austin. I would like to see him in the third. Dan thinks I'm crazy and he's not going to last that long. Definitely CB somewhere in there. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate you. Austin, if we don't trade for Bradbury or sign Gilmore, are we focused on CB in the draft, either trading up or staying put? Yeah, I mean, there's no way around it.
No, that might be them giving their hand a little bit, tipping it if they don't bring either one in. The fact that they've been sniffing around tells me they don't want to do that. That they don't. Brett Veach is like, I don't want first round corners at all, ever. If I can help it, I don't want it. They're pretty comfortable with their scouting profiles on late day 2 guys and early day 3 guys. They seem very comfortable with that. And I find it hard to argue with their results. I mean, they've gotten some pretty good value and good players.
There's this guy named Snead that just stands there and plays good. Like they're like, oh, look what we did.
I know, like Rashad Fenton, a 6th round pick who comes in and contributes, like is an active contributor. So they're comfortable. I think at some point you have to throw talent, real talent at the position, or you're going to end up in a bad situation.
Yeah. I will tell you this. There's also value in this class too. I think Kyler Gordon's going to go in the second. Does he get to 50? I'm not so sure, but he could. Kobe Bryant's going to go in the third, if not later. That's a true value. Like the guys that are playing opposite the stars in McDuffie and Sauce, like I want those guys because they've been through the fire. You know what I mean?
They work with them too.
That. Absolutely. And I think that's a big. They're going to have their eyes out for corners the whole draft. Scott, are you a bigger Jayhawk fan than my late grandmother? Prove it. Well, I paid them for my bachelor's degree. I coached for them. They paid me for my master's degree. So like, yes, I'm a big fan. I just like you guys always give me static about, like, I'm not a big rah fan. Like I don't buy jerseys and I don't walk around Chiefs gear all the time. I wear more KU stuff than I do anything else. So yeah, I am a big fan. I'm just not the cheerleader type every 5 minutes. You know what I mean?
That's this guy right here.
Right?
That's me.
This is the cheering dude, right over here.
You don't want to be around me after a loss. I'll tell you right now.
Yeah. It gets personal. Jake, thank you. If the Chiefs create a trade package to get Williams, but someone else takes him much earlier than projected, who's next on the board for you guys? Oh, so say they went up to like 11. Who would you be looking for if somebody just sneaks in there?
Jermaine Johnson. That's who I'll be looking at right now. One of the corners, possibly. If Derek Stingley Jr.'s foot just checked out today, they reported he's going to do his pro day, whatever it is, and
like Wednesday, right?
Yeah, something like that. He is my cornerback 1. If he's there at 11, I would take him, bar none. I would not even think twice about it. But again, Ryan thinks they're going to trade during the draft. If that happens, then we're going to see a situation where that doesn't unfold, where they maybe have their package ready. If Jameson goes, you're going to be like, okay, we'll hold that to back unless one of those two areas that they are targeting, corner or edge, is still on the board.
Yeah, I'm with you. Thank you, Jake. Appreciate you as always, my friend. Jeremy, have you watched a James Houston 4 tape?
Excuse me.
I haven't been able to find any Jackson State tape yet. I did go back and see him at Florida in like 19, but he wasn't a rush end, so it didn't do me any good. So I turned it off in about less than a quarter. I like the idea, but I got to see it. He's going to be one of the mysteries of the draft, Jeremy. That's what I'm pretty convincing. You haven't seen him, have you, Dan?
Have not. Some of this tape is extremely difficult to come by, you guys. Like, I'm still struggling getting some of the tape for. I have nothing on Sky Moore. I got nothing.
Right.
I have nothing.
I'll tell you this. I know a guy that's called every game that Zion McCollum's played for his entire college career, and he can't get me filmed. So I have not been able to watch him yet either.
It's ridiculous.
Patrick, do teams draft to block a rival from getting the talent they want and need, thinking Chargers would take Williams just because he's a need for us? They generally don't do that. They have their job to do, and that's filling their roster to be as competitive as possible. Every now and then you'll get one that does, but generally that blows up in their face. It's not a sound practice.
The Chargers also would draft Williams because they have no speed. He's actually a need for them with Williams and Allen. They don't have that. So he's 1,000% need for them.
Smash it, Aaron. I like it. I don't generally say, but smash the thumbs up, would you, folks?
Smash.
That lets the Chiefs fans find us. I don't know. I have a mental block on that one, but thank you, Aaron. You make me more. You're making me more hip. Like my kids say, Dad, you're not that old. Yeah, I am. Casey, appreciate you. Damon Clark or Dean, or is it Damone? I always say it wrong.
Damone
or Dean. Who's Dean?
Nakobe Dean. I think that's.
Nakobe. Yeah. I think Clark may have some injury issues. He definitely does. He's having spinal fusion. 2 of his vertebrae, they're bolting together. The Chiefs seem to strike gold on injured and circumstantial players. You're absolutely right. And here's the thing is Dean's a top 50 pick. I know that a lot of the mocks are having him drop out of the first. I'm not convinced that actually happens, but he's still a top 50 pick. I think Damone is going to be now. He could even fall to day 3, but he's easily going to be at the bottom of round 3. He wore the 18 at LSU. That's a big thing for me.
Yeah.
That means not just leadership in the locker room, leadership on the field. He's the guy. I started writing notes about him when I was watching Jabril Peppers last year. So like he fulfilled everything that I asked him for and then some. If he recovers fully, he would be a steal. He would be the Trey Smith if taken in the 4th round. He'd be the Trey Smith of this draft.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you on that one. That's exactly what I was about to say. I was likening it to that situation. A guy who falls because of medical questions, and then he ends up being a steal for you.
Yeah. Okay, I'll shut up since I keep stealing your answers here. Take this one.
What up, Napoleon in rags? Would you trade 30 and 62 for Seattle's back-to-back at 40 and 41? No. I guess that's just my own thing is they're going to have back-to-back at 29 and 30, and I would trade back for a back-to-back if I already got one in the first round.
Fair enough.
My own thing.
Yeah. I might consider it. I'd have to look at the numbers, but yeah. Here, take this one too.
All right, Jonathan, what up? Daxton Hill versus Scene or Ojabo versus Cam Thomas at 29 and 30. Who better fits Spags' defense and why? So I think Cam Thomas, right off the bat, the question would fit better in terms of what they're looking for, more of a power end with the length. Ojabo definitely is more of a speed rusher with an unrefined run defense, and Cam Thomas is a guy who can plug and play in terms of opposite of Frank Clark day one, in my opinion. So that's probably the fit there. And I think Scene fits more of what you're looking for with like the Dan Sorensen replacement kind of player in what in that defense. But Daxton Hill, I think, can play multiple different positions. Really, both of them can. I think Hill brings more corner versatility than safety versatility, and I think Scene has more safety versatility, if that makes sense to you guys. So both fit this defense in different ways, and really Thomas over Ojabo just because Spags refuses to get with the times.
Well, I'll tell you this too. Jalen Petrie is a blend of both of those safeties, in my opinion.
Those three guys are all just very they have their things that they're excellent at. They can all kind of do a little bit of everything. And then you have Petrie, who's like this pseudo linebacker corner safety thing, who is like, just, I'm going to hit somebody. I want to hit somebody.
I'm going now. Dan Bo, how will our O-line hold up against the AFC West defensive upgrades? It's all about Lucas Niang, in my opinion.
If they can get that right tackle spot figured out, they're going to be okay, no matter who's rushing.
Right. I'm not rushing.
I'm not either.
Who you guys draft the first CBDE wide receiver if both spots are equal? Ooh, I haven't begun stacking yet.
I'm still taking defensive end.
I've come around on Jermaine Johnson. I have fallen off even farther of George Karlaftis. He is not a first-round player for me.
No, he's not. People are going to start realizing it as the draft gets closer. He's a second-round draft pick who's getting first-round buzz. Why? Why? What on his tape tells you he's a first-round player? Nothing.
Zero bend. Zero. He's a board. I will give him this. He has a good first step. He has some decent get-off. But I don't see adaptability there. When it's all said and done, I think right now, and Dan, you probably know the answer to this better than I do.
Maybe.
I think I have Cam Thomas graded over him.
You probably do. That wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. I guarantee you I'm going to have a ton of defensive ends over him.
Yeah. We will stack though, Canadian Chief. We will have them out. I'm going to try to start the Substack as soon as the draft guide is done. I'm going to set up the Substack so we can give you our rankings, because the draft guide will do all of our grades for all three phases. Then Dad and I will actually rank the players we like in what order. So that's going to be on the Substack. It will be the same Substack that everybody else has a Substack, and it will be a membership to join, that kind of thing. So it's really for the hardcore draft nicks. Not trying to ask anybody to do that yet. When we get there, you think you guys will dig it, but it'll be fine. Justin, Chiefs need to go all in on Jameson Williams. Do they have that mindset? I don't think all in. Halfway in?
They've got one foot out the door.
I was gonna say like the whole legs in the hot tub. Maybe it's okay. I don't know.
They're testing that water and they're like, our thigh is getting in there right now. They're definitely there, but everyone else is almost like their waists are in because they're much higher in the Chiefs. Right. So that's how that feels.
It's getting a bit hot in here. That's all right. There's still the trade option. You're absolutely right, Justin. And so I think like the Seahawks they have a tendency. John Schneider drives a decent bargain. That's why I'm thinking it might take till draft night. KC, the Chiefs seem to have a fork ball they'd like to throw right after the draft. Okay. If you speculated, what would the fork ball be this year? Fork being didn't see it coming. Yes, I was putting that together. I call it screwball, but I understand what you mean. I will say this. If they get the receivers they want, I wouldn't be surprised to see them try to trade one of the guys they just signed.
Like who?
If you get Jameson Williams, is there really room for MVS out there?
No, but I mean, okay, yeah. If they get Jameson, I can see that being a possibility for sure. With a little bit of flexibility in his contract, definitely that would be very appetizing to a lot of teams. But yeah, okay, I can see where you're going with that. I don't have a move for them.
I just had to get you there, right?
Yeah, I don't have one this year. There's not like that guy that they've had legit talks about. Like Orlando Brown had been. The rumors were going forever, and the Frank Clark, the rumors were going. They made that. There hasn't been that, and James Bradbury is not a guy that garners that type of first round pick. So right now, I don't really have that screwball, forkball, whatever you want to call it, really in the tank. Maybe as we get closer, it'll just kind of come out of thin air, but you never know.
Yeah, you never do. Alyssa, Rock Chalk J, back to you as well. Dan, rank your top 5 needs.
All right.
Well, this team.
So defensive end is the number 1 area that they need. Corner is number 2. And like, that's what it is. Like, that's what it is. I think the defensive line is probably 4. I think wide receivers at 3. Yeah, defensive tackle is 4. Wide receiver is 3. Right tackle is now 5. I don't think they have faith in Lucas Niang. They brought Andrew Wiley back. It looks like right tackle is becoming a much bigger draft need.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. I would probably slide safety in there to the 4 spot myself.
We'll see.
Because I know they want to run those three sets, and that's the thing I keep coming back to. You could be right. That's where we're at right now tonight. Alyssa, I asked this in another week.
Yeah, right.
Red Hood, been seeing Gordon sneaking into the back end of the first round and some max. Yeah, that's what I was talking about before. I'm a big fan of his. I'd like to see a Jabo and Gordon at 29 and 30. I could live with that. The question is, who's starting for you at the other edge? You have to have shown that up, meaning signed Ingram by then for me to take a player that's broken.
If it's nearing closer to the draft and Melvin Ingram signs, I believe it's a very good sign that the Chiefs might be trying to get David Ojabo.
I concur. Good thinking there, Red Hood. I'm with you. And I do like Gordon quite a bit. I don't actually think he sneaks into the back, but he could. Yeah, 50. Like that's where I'd be targeting him. Is Joe Schobert an option? Vet presence at LB. Yeah.
Maybe.
He doesn't have to play a starting role, but he could if you needed him. I think he's slowed down a bit, which was always kind of his thing. Like, he's a pretty athletic linebacker, so if he does, that's a problem. But yeah, I mean the fact that he hasn't signed yet says teams are not very high on him, which means he's going to be a bargain after the draft. So I'm okay with that. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Gary. Appreciate you. I'll look for something from you here down below. Scott, any other awesome Jameson plays in addition to the targeting that we know about? I mean, man, I can't list them all. I actually like him doing the jet sweep stuff quite a bit too.
You can have Jameson Williams do anything. I truly believe he can be a jet sweep guy. He can be a downfield guy. He can be a hitch and go guy. He can be a wide receiver screen. He can do all of that stuff because he's too sudden. When he gets the ball, his catch to attack is immediate and he's gone. He's gone.
I'm with you. I mean, that's stuff, that's acceleration you can't get anywhere else.
Correct.
God damn. Okay, we keep stacking up. We're doing good, you guys. We've got 15 minutes left. We're going to start speeding through some of these. Would you like? Yes, we'd like one. I don't know if we'd like the cost. How long has it been since KU won their last one? It was 2008, the year that my children were born. In fact, my wife was nearly in labor from the championship game. I had to send her to bed. Usually that's a story I only tell family. So welcome, family. I'm glad you guys are here. Almost 600 of you. Mr. Gucci's in the house.
What up, Gooch?
Back, Brian. Jump on and I hear Black Mama slander and I hear UNC slander. Rough Monday. Not slander. Let's just be honest, though. Black Mamba was Black Mamba. Skinny as a snake. I'm just saying. Like that did not bode well for him in his career. And UNC, you can be a UNC fan. Some of my best friends are UNC fans. They're all losing tonight. I'm just saying. Okay.
I might have to watch this game then.
Right? You might have to now. I'm gonna get you to watch it, Dan. Jaden, you guys gonna watch the USFL in a week also as a wide receiver with a realistic trade. Yeah, I will take it up for. If you guys don't know, I used to work with Eric Galco, and he was part of that, like the first time when they kind of played with it. He's been back now. He's running the Shrine game. Like there are people that end up in the league and end up in influential positions out of leagues like this. I think that it's important to get a look. And who is a wide receiver in a realistic trade? The only guy you trade for is Jameson, in my opinion.
Maybe if you're talking draft, I don't even know if there's anyone out there in the NFL like you're going to trade for. I just don't. I just don't see it.
So you don't have interest in DK?
I personally don't. Terry McLaurin, yes.
Okay.
Go get Terry McLaurin.
How do you like the overlap with McLaurin, Juju, and McColl? And I want them all running out of the slot is my problem.
I believe Terry McLaurin is the best wide receiver in the NFL at turning 50-50 balls on the outside into catches. He can play on the outside. He can live, and I think he can 100% play there.
Okay.
Juju and McColl are going to be interchanging. I think that McColl is going to play more of the Z this year he's going to switch around with MBS and Juju like quite a bit in their roles, the Z in this slot. So I think that's what's going to happen.
I hope so. I would really like that. Let's see. How is Mahomes going to improve his connection with the remaining wide receivers after the one he connected with best is gone?
Yeah.
Get him the ball.
Yep.
He's going to give him opportunities. If they don't let him down, then it'll grow. If they screw it up, it won't.
We've seen that. We have seen it. The reason that Byron Pringle was starting to get more chances is because guess what? He was proving himself a little bit there at the end. And that's why the ball went to him more. When you drop balls and you just don't show up for him, he's not going to throw you the ball.
Gary, thank you for this, and thank you for your earlier super chat. In yesterday's mock draft, you ran out of picks with players left that you like. If you only had one pick left, do you go to the best player on the board or the player that you think will fit? For me, at that point, because we're talking like, what did I draft? I think I drafted into the 4th round, right? So we're talking 5th, 6th, 7th. I take the best player available that I can use. If he fits something, that's good. If he's like the 8th wide receiver, he does me no good because he's not making the roster. So it's got to be a bit of both for me, Gary. But
I like that.
Yeah, you're okay with that?
Yeah, that's a good explanation.
Everybody's philosophy is a little bit different, you know? Jaden, thank you very much. Oh, and Dan, your jersey's on the way.
Thank you, Jaden. I appreciate you, man.
Cheers.
Awesome.
I'm looking forward to see that. PK, thank you very much. Rock Chalk JR. So the Steelers are going to rebuild mode. Do you think the TJ Watt trade possible, or what would it take? No, it's not possible. If it did, it would be like 3 ones.
I was about to say
it'd be as much as a quarterback, right?
Yeah, you're bordering on that with those generational terms of franchise player defensive ends. That's what you're bordering on.
Yeah, yeah. I would love to see TJ on this roster. I will not make it happen. You think Lloyd is a good addition out of Utah? Yeah, I would love it, Steve. Just not going to have an opportunity, I think, unless they trade up. I think he goes ahead of 29. Aaron, could we be getting Lockett instead of DK? I would prefer that. I would not. I don't think Lockett has a ton left.
Lockett's what he is.
And you have overlap with Juju and with McColl.
No, you have overlap with MVS. That's what he is. He's MVS,
yeah, really?
But he's older, and I think he's better downfield. Personally.
See, but I think he's slowing, so I don't see him as that stretch threat anymore.
Well, yeah, he's nearly, 32, 33? So, yeah, he's getting older. So, yeah. I'm not. And plus, look at his contract. Look at the years that he has left on his contract. He's going to be bordering $24, $25 million a year unless he restructures.
Yeah. Oof. No, that's going to take a cut and then sign. Yep. I could get into that. Let's see. Make sure we're not skipping any super chats. Will you take this one and I'll stack stuff?
What up, Harlan? How you doing? As much as Jameson Williams would be a good pick, I really want to see us go all defense with our first 4 picks. Our defense is a serious upgrade, youth injection, and I believe Patrick. Yeah, I don't disagree. I think that they're trying to not only what they're trying to do on offense is I think they're bringing in some veterans to make it work for the next year or two. And they're going to try to draft and build young players to get into the offense, learn it, build a chemistry with, and then have them take over. I think that's what this is. MVS's deal was really only a 2-year tryout and then with a 3rd-year option. It's really how it ends up boiling down to. And they want to do that. But yes, this defense desperately needs they have good young pieces in the secondary with Snead and now Reed and Thornhill. They got to get that secondary corner, and then edge needs more.
That said, though, if I don't know, if Olave's on the board and the best edge available is Ojabo and he's hurt,
no, I get it.
I can't do it.
I think that's why I said I think they're going to take a wide receiver because I think that they're going to want to take them and have these guys incumbents to turn the offense over to. You're still going to get them on the field, but we know that rookies never really produce in this offense. They take time to learn the system. That's always how it's been. So I think they're still going to take wide receivers in the first 2 days but they're just going to let them develop.
Yeah. I got to trust my evaluations at that point. If he's a better player,
Yeah.
I got to take him. Even though I think that's only probably true in that the wide receivers will still be higher than what's available on defense in the first round. After you get past like 40, I think there's more defensive talent late, in my opinion, that's even.
I don't disagree with that.
I think that comes along pretty nicely, Harlan. Harper, Jahan Dotson, David Bell with 29 and 30. Which one has more higher ceiling? Dotson is clear.
Dotson's a much better player. It's funny, if you guys are interested tonight, I'll be looking at David Bell film on my Twitch channel in Harm's Way 19. Be doing that if you want to watch.
Dan is our Twitch guy. I can't get into Twitch. I don't have the internet backbone for it. Tyler, KC has an extra third next year from the Polls hiring. Yes. Just thinking of how much draft capital ammo Veach has. Yes, he does have that extra third next year as well. We don't know what number it's going to be or anything yet. We just know that 103 is the one this year, but they do get 2. So yes, there is that. And you could actually do that. You know, I mean, they give away the second next year too.
Mm-hmm.
Just you're all right, Justin. I didn't take any offense. I hope I didn't sound like I did. What's up there, Brandon?
What up, Brandon?
Glad to see you back, buddy. Thank you. Appreciate your support. Hey, Julian. Glad you're here. Trevor Petting's been dropping a mock draft recently. Do you take him at 29 or 30? No. I'm rare. I don't know how you feel, Dan. I am rare. He is not a first round talent for me at all.
No, Trevor Penning is one of those guys that you watch one game, you're like, oh, okay. You watch a couple more. Oh.
I tell you what, go watch Iowa State. He gets a couple of bully reps in that he's so nasty with, and then he gets his ass handed to him a couple of times.
That's what it is.
That's what's going to happen in the league a lot.
This is what happens. They were like, oh, okay. Then they put the blinders on everything else. Flash.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah. For a guy who tested better than Charles Cross, he's nowhere near the athlete on the field.
Give me Cross.
Yeah, 10 times. Jeremy, you guys take Tariq Woolen at 50 is there? No.
64, I'm thinking about it.
See, I would take Zion over him. Just because we're 64? Talking about we're talking about 2 athletic, really raw players.
Yeah, it's true.
It is what it is. That's almost personal preference between the 2 of them, though. I will say that.
I'll get that.
Nate, apparently Governor Mike Parsons told Mark Donovan they will fight to keep the Chiefs in Missouri. I don't know if it's true, but it sounds good. Yeah, I mean, I don't expect anything else, especially without the Rams. They don't want to lose the Chiefs. I think they'll pull out the stops. And what that means, unfortunately, for you Missouri residents is I think the governor's going to weigh in and the governor's going to put a levy on, and y'all are going to pay taxes to build the Chiefs a new stadium.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
I'm sorry about that, but yeah, I agree. And you know, I have no problem with that. As a Kansan, I have no problem with the Chiefs staying in Missouri. They've always been there. Why not? The only problem that I ever have is when Missouri fans act like Kansas fans aren't as much as Chiefs fans. You know what I mean? And it's just not true. So I think they should stay there. I think what'll end up happening, the Royals are going to move downtown. The Chiefs are going to blow up Kauffman Stadium, build a brand new stadium right there, and then they're going to blow up Arrowhead and build a shopping mall or some crazy thing like Jerry does. I don't know. I hope that the environmental impact isn't negative is my big thing. Do you see KC drafting Tyquan Thornton from Baylor? He's a day 3 guy to me, so I can't see why not if he's on their board in the right spot.
Yeah, if he's like, I would take him in the 4th round as a developmental guy, but you're also having to remember these Baylor guys, much like Corey Coleman, who's now on the Kansas City Chiefs roster, are deep ball specialists. They have ball skills. They have speed. They're not separators. So if they do that, it's another clue as to their thinking going forward. In my opinion.
We got a lot of questions here. Take this next one.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Harlan again. No, I didn't talk to Harlan next line. Hold on. You get the next one. And maybe I'm drinking Kool-Aid, but I believe that McCole is going to step up big this year. I really see him as a wide receiver 1 when it's done. Not in TDs, but in yardage. I certainly hope so. Like, I think we all forget that McCole didn't play but 2 seasons of wide receiver at Georgia.
Yep.
Like, I think he's needed this. And now that he has the opportunity, I hope that he steps up and grabs it too, Harlan. I'm totally with you.
They need
probably not tight ends. I think it's going to be a Kelsey show for the scoring.
Oh, please.
Okay.
My
Take this
fantasy
one and I'll
teams
shut
will
up.
thank you for that.
Right.
How's it going, Ready Whip? Do we try and grab a linebacker in those late rounds? We still need one, don't we? Yes, they still need a linebacker. That's why we kind of talked about Jesse Laletta as being that Sam type of backer that can do a little bit of everything for you. I think that would be a perfect option for them because it would really round out their linebacker crew with 3 young players, and then it would keep your best guys in their best spots. Willie as the Will and Nick Bolton as the Mike, and then you can really just kind of get crazy with it after that. So I do think they're going to be targeting after like right into day 3. They're going to be looking at some linebackers with athletic upside.
I will not argue with you. Here's another.
How's it going, John? What are your thoughts of Tyreek calling his new QB a used 2001 Honda? That was a fake quote that you got unfortunately, John. That was just something somebody made because it's going from Mahomes to Tua. So unfortunately, it's not actually a quote that was real.
Gotcha. Harlan, also want to thank you guys for answering my question. I truly appreciate you guys and all the things. Thank you. I'm glad
Harlan.
that you guys enjoy it. It's funny because I've been doing this now. The YouTube channel is 3 years old. Before that, I've been podcasting since 15, right? Before that, it was just me and my poor wife having to listen to me and my friends talk football all the time. So thank you guys for being here and
thank you
listening
so much.
to it. She thanks you more than you know. I will tell you that. Ryan, would you rather trade one of our first for a viable edge or a viable number 1 receiver? Edge. Okay. Yes, I like the defense. Julian, I wouldn't be surprised if the first 4 picks are defense and an offensive player. Yes, like 1 out of the 4. Yeah, I definitely see that. Casey Masterpiece, would you guys draft a running back this year or let Gore tote the rock and see what he does? I will not draft a running back this year.
I don't think they're going to, especially with bringing Ronald Jones in. I think this is going to be you and Clyde figure it out. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah. I will not put it past them to bring in a couple of UDFAs, though. I will tell you,
definitely.
I see that as supreme value myself. Matt Gage, thank you very much. I missed Jamal. We all missed Jamal, man. I tell you what, I met Jamal when he was like 20 years old running track meets. And he was the nicest kid ever. And I was like, oh, hey, he's super fast. Yeah. Never knew he even played ball.
He's one of my favorite Chiefs of all time and probably my favorite running back ever.
Oh, man. He'll be number 2 to Peyton for me always, but
I get it.
Nivik, has the AFC West finally caught up to KC?
On paper.
It's close. If they're able to fill their holes with truly players that can hit, they'll pull back ahead. But right now it's pretty close.
Yep.
Jason, glad you're back. Josh Kano and Noah Gray. Which guy can step up this next season? Gray.
Kano.
Okay. I like it. We're split. Iron Man. So if you're saying corner and D-line are bigger needs than wide receiver, why do we keep hearing about wide receiver discussion? It's because there's just not the value. And quite frankly, after Travis Jones goes off the board, there's not a whole lot of D-line that I want.
Yeah. And it's also the Mahomes factor. That's going to be the Brett Veach has said time and time again, we will always look to surround him with players. That's more important than facilitating the defense in their eyes.
Okay, guys, I think I've got everything stacked. So super chats from on out, and we will finish this thing up. Can a kid from Texas A&M, Kenyon Green, T Green? Could he play right tackle? It's Kenyon Green.
That's Kenyon Green, yeah.
Yeah. Can he play right tackle? It's a possibility 29 and 30. Yes, he could. No, I wouldn't want him. I think he's a guard.
I also think he's going to the Dallas Cowboys, but that's my own opinion.
I've mocked him there several times. I will not disagree. Is Eric Fisher a realistic option at right tackle? He is for me. I don't think he is for the team.
No, I don't even think he is for me. I'm scared of that option. If that's going to be your solution, I would just draft somebody, let Wiley play.
That's fair. I'm just saying, like, he could play 8 games for me, and we'd probably be all right.
He play those 8 games with Andrew Wiley.
Yeah, okay. Aaron, what's going on with Matthew, do you guys think? I think he's burned some bridges. I think his attitude is that he still feels that he is a $20 million a year player, and nobody in the league thinks that.
Yeah, the league is very soured on him. They think that, I guarantee you, he looks like he's lost a step, whether he was playing through an injury last year or not. That's all skeptical at this point, but he's thinking he's worth more than, at this point, the NFL sees. Like Ryan said, that's just what it is.
Yeah. Dan, did Josh Gardner or Corey Coleman have a chance to make the final 53? It's iffy. I'd give Josh Gordon the edge. He might be the 7th or 8th guy.
Yeah, Gordon's got the only realistic chance, in my opinion. It's funny because they were both on the Browns at one point when you think about that.
Oh, right.
So, yeah.
I didn't even consider that. That's funny. Thank you, Chris. Where do you have Corey Coleman coming out? I don't think he makes the roster.
I think he was asking where you had him coming out when he was in the draft, like when he was drafted.
Oh. I think I had him as a 2nd rounder, if I remember right. I'd have to go back and dig that one out, man. It's been a while. Aaron, what's the earliest that Muma goes? Crap.
2nd round.
Yeah.
Like, I think he might end up going before the Chiefs draft at 50. Yeah, like he's going like right in there.
Like, it's starting to piss me off. I gotta tell you. Like, everyone's like, "Why are you so high on Muma and Cam Thomas?" I'm like, "Because they're
the NFL
players."
is.
Now all of a sudden it's like, shit, they can't get. I just did it again. Now they can't get them. So apologies for you kids watching at home. Every now and then I slip. Josh, how early does Troy Anderson go for that athletic profile? You can't take him before the 3rd.
It's getting out of hand, especially in the mock drafts. He's being thrown up. Just thrown up, and I'm just like, you can't draft him. You can't.
No,
like
it's
maybe 103 where the Chiefs have him, like their extra 3rd, maybe. But I wouldn't take him before the 4th round.
Yeah, I mean, I can live with 103.
Yeah,
I could
like, too.
I've seen him in the 2nd. That's ridiculous.
I can't.
It's crazy. I tell you, the guy that's nearly as good as the kid from App State that no one talks about. Is it DeMarco?
I can't remember his name. I just saw it on the mock that I did today, and I can't remember his name.
Julian, I think we used 9 draft picks out of the 12 this year. Thoughts? That's kind of like the number that I'm aiming at as well. I could see as many as 10 if they can't get trade partners, but I think I would take the under at 9.5.
Yeah, that's exactly where I think they want to be.
Gooch, this game is karma for how they treated Roy on his way out, and it's going to be a good one. Wait a minute. Roy said one summer, I'm not leaving to Carolina, and the next summer he quit and went to Carolina. So I don't want to hear about how he was treated walking out the door, bro.
Yeah.
He took his whole staff with him, including some of my friends. Do you think USF on XFL will merge next season? Do you think that they trade for a guy like Tyler Lockett or Cooks or McLaurin? I don't think they merge. They're owned by wholly different people that I don't think can get along business-wise. And I think if the deal is right, they could do it. Hi, lady. I think they could trade. I'm intrigued by the McLaurin thing. I hadn't even heard that really. So, like, yeah, I would definitely look into that.
That your silver favorite?
Yes.
Yeah. I hope. I don't know.
Bye.
Bye. I think there are definitely some options there. It's just all about value. You know, I'm not giving up near what I would for McLaurin as I would for Lockett. That's just the cold hard facts.
Yeah.
Time catches up. You know, it caught up with me, so it might as well catch up with everybody else. I've been drafting 4 edge, 2 CB, 1 safety, and 2 wide receivers. Thoughts? I think that's a perfectly fine outcome. The only thing that I would say is if there's a chance, try to look at the D line as well, because they need somebody else to pass rush.
Yeah, I'm taking one of those edges and making a defensive lineman, and one of those edges and making it a tackle, like a developmental tackle.
Yeah, I'm with you. And I'll tell you this too. People are going to tell you that Josh Paschal, or is that his name, Josh?
Josh Paschal, Kentucky defensive end.
Yeah, he's going to be a great 3-technique penetrator. He's not an edge, you guys. He's going to be great inside. I would take him in probably day 3 if he lasts that long. I don't know that he will, but I don't like him at edge, but I really like him inside.
Yeah, he's going to be a great 3-tech. Like, I think he's legit in that department.
Absolutely. In fact, I moved him over on the board, Stan. I didn't tell you yet, but just so you know. National media saying about Treylon Burks. The national media keeps pumping him up despite all the evidence to the contrary. I still see national media talking about him as a first-round pick, and I just don't have him there. I don't think you do either, Dan, right?
It really depends. I wouldn't blink if he was a first-round pick like in the 20s. I'd be very skeptical about taking him before then. And again, at the Chiefs, 29 and 30, I'm comfortable with that. But his film is not first-round film. It's not.
I'm with you there. Red, thoughts on Dubes from Nevada? I have concerned about his hand placement when trying to catch the ball, and I have him around a 5th, 6th round grade. I have him higher than that, but I agree with you. There are definitely concerns. I think I have him in the 4th.
Yeah, I've got a 4th round grade on him. He's a good player, but when you're taking some of these lower level guys, they have to kind of rely on just playmaking ability, and he has legit playmaking ability, but ball tracking, hand usage are both issues with him, and it's really what are you going to get? You don't know. He goes up and it just kind of slips through his hands, or what?
Yeah. What now? Todd, thank you for this one.
Thank you,
Yes,
Todd.
this is our new show on Monday nights, the Avery Hour. We're here for you guys. Do you like Dotson, Steve Concepcion? I like Dotson more than I should.
I was about to say, I didn't like him before I watched his tape very much. I have seen some of the games because my wife's a Penn State fan, so I go, okay, I get with it. I watched his tape. Okay. I might take this dude in the 1st round. Like, that's what I'm talking about. He's good.
I have him as a 1st rounder. I have him in my top 5 ahead of Burks. If you guys want to see that, we're running all of our top 5s on my top 5 at every position right now on the Locked On NFL Draft Show. You can find that on the Twitter stuff as well. And that's where it is right now. And those are rankings. Now, my player preferences are what's going to be on the Substack. So you'll see that a little bit different along with all of Dan's as well. John Harmon, do the Watts have any more brothers try to play DE? No, I think they went to the fullback thing. I think Derek's the last brother, right?
Yeah, Derek is the last one. And they were, I think they were both on the same team now. I think Derek and and TJ are on the same team. And so, yeah. That's it. For all of them.
For UK fans, go find that company that cloned Dolly, and let's get to work. we need more Watts. Would you trade for Cooks? And if so, how much?
I would trade for Brandon Cooks, but I wouldn't do anything over a 4th round pick.
Okay, I could live with that. Quinn Mattingly, why do I feel like the Chiefs trading for DK or trading up for Williams is the most Andy Reid Chiefs things to do ever? Because you're absolutely right, and your head coach that he wants to put up points. Defense be damned, he wants to put up points.
Yeah.
Jalen, is there any type of possibility for Matthew returns? I just can't see how they'd let him back in the locker room.
It's this big at this point. It's been getting progressively smaller and smaller and smaller, but your situation is too difficult with through those 3 safeties. You don't know what you got to do unless Tyron's like, okay, I will step back. If he does that, okay, I'm okay with that.
For me, it's all on Tyron. If he's willing to take a non-leadership role, and I don't think there's any way if I was in position I could live with that.
Yeah.
From being a leader of that defense to you don't want me to, now I'm back and I'm not the guy.
Yeah, it's tough spot.
Yeah. Steve, if Jordan Davis falls to 29, would you take him?
Who else is on the board?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that goes into that. But yeah, if he falls that far, I definitely have to consider him with who else is there.
Yes, because typically we've seen Mafe there as a defensive end. I would take him over Mafe, and
I would too.
Probably pretty comfortable with it.
And for those that say he's not the best pass rusher, he's not. Devontae's better than him, but he hasn't been asked to do that much. The question is he dedicated to keeping his weight off? Will he stay in shape? And if he does that, he will learn to be a better pass rusher. He's got the tools. He's got a decent swim. He's got a nice rip. I've even seen him 2-hand swipe in there in the dirt. Like, it's crazy. He's quick. It makes me sick. Oh, let's say Cross and Williams drop to 15 and we trade up. Who are you taking?
Williams.
Yeah,
I'm not taking Cross.
I like Cross a lot.
I do too.
But not over Williams.
He's not Jameson.
No,
Jameson is one of the 5 difference makers in this draft. He's a difference maker. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Yeah, I hear you. Who's the Jamal Charles or Kareem Hunt of the draft? I don't know. I haven't watched any running backs because I just don't care.
It's Jerome Ford.
Yeah, or Cook. Cook could be the Charles. He's got the speed for it.
I don't think Cook has the vision. I don't think he can play in between the tackles very well. But a guy who's going to get taken on day 3 that's going to turn into somebody, I fully believe it's going to be Jerome Ford.
Yeah, we both like him more than anybody else that I've ever heard.
he dropped. You know what? Let me amend my statement a little bit. He dropped into my running back 4 because Dameon Pierce just kind of chugged his way up top.
So who would be the Hunt in your opinion? Because I literally have not watched the running back.
It would be Pierce. It would
Okay.
Pierce is that kind of player. He's not the fastest. He ran like a 4.59 40, but he is explosive. He has change of direction, and he will run you over. He does not go down. That dude just churns his legs. He doesn't go down. He doesn't.
All my running back work has been either live or at the Senior Bowl, and he was
Yeah.
at the Senior Bowl, and he
Mhm.
did make an impression. I will tell you that. Members, please hit me up on Twitter or Discord. This is for Aaron. So if you are a member, if you are rookie or above, you can get in the Discord. All you got to do is send me an email here. If you're already in there, Aaron's just saying reach out to him if you would, please. He would like to be in contact, and he's on Twitter as well. Aaron, I don't have your handle in front of me. I can't remember off the top of my head, but throw it out there and I'll put it up. Tyler Goodson from IL. Would you take him in the 4th or 5th? Have you seen some tape? I have seen him live. I wouldn't spend a 4th or a 5th on a running back, though.
No.
Alyssa, what are your thoughts about Zion Johnson at 29-30th and slide Tooney to tackle? No, I like Zion a lot, but Tooney at tackle is a mismatch waiting to happen. I wouldn't do it. And I don't think Zion lasts that long, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, it's also reorchestrating your entire offensive line. If you move Tooney to left tackle because he's not going to play right, that means you have to put Orlando now on the right. You spent the entire last year trying to get this, at least from right guard, all the way to left tackle configured. You did that. Let it play out.
Yeah, I'm with you there as well. Big Dave, I think we explained our Burke stuff, but in general, he's a build-up speed guy. I don't like the way that he wins inconsistently. He does have some great plays. He has some knucklehead plays too, so I just don't trust him to be a first-round pick. That's basically where I'm coming from. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, everyone, for the conversation. Appreciate you. Todd, just watch the draft. Just watch draft day. Let's do all of that and get all the first rounders. Yes,
Just do it all.
pancake eating. Yeah. Travis, thank you for the support. Appreciate you. Scott,
Travis.
same with you. Hi, Avery. Button is activated. Hi, Avery. Everyone say hi to Avery.
Awesome. Appreciate
Glad
it.
he
Scott.
made it. Is Clay Campbell someone to look into for a 1 year? He and Jones would be interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, but Clay
Yeah.
plays generally a 3-man front. He's played in some 4, but
I think you can get away with it, but that's my more him being a veteran, kind of figuring out kind of player.
yeah, that's true. He certainly can. Top 2 running backs you would target in round 3+. Ford and Algier.
I can't stand Algier. I really don't like
Oh,
his tape
no?
at all.
Okay.
I don't like him.
I like both the Whites, Zaquandre and Rashad. They're like 5th, 6th guys that I could get into. I like the kid from Indiana that used to be at USC.
Can't remember.
Hang
his
on.
name.
He's right here on my list. Stephen Carr.
Okay. I like Keontae Ingram. We could talk about Ford all we want, but let me just kind of pull up. Yeah, I do
Trade a
like
first
Keontae Ingram.
Yeah.
Jerry
okay. Yeah, I'm
Ely is
down
a
with him
guy.
too.
Is a guy that
Mhm.
I like as a more of a speedster little guy too, but
I like it. Trade a first, and thank you, Jacob. Appreciate you.
Yes,
Trade
thank you,
a
Jacob.
first this year and a first next year with a team not expected to make the playoff run. Likely a higher pick in the better draft class. True. You got a lot of holes to fill this year. So
yeah.
I'd be reluctant to put it off. Maybe that's what they do, though. You never know. If they can't get value. Prayer Warrior asks, what do you think of the best player we will get? Woo!
That's a question.
Ooh, that's a good one. I'm going
That's
to
a
go out on a limb and say
question.
Boye Mafe.
You know what? I'm gonna speak it into existence. Kyrie Elam.
Okay. You like him a lot, huh?
I do have a first round grade on him, like end of the first round grade on Kyrie Elam.
Okay.
I do. I think don't ask him to tackle. He's just fine.
Red Royce, thank you for being here. I'm glad that you guys enjoy these. We enjoy doing them. Obviously,
Yes,
we're
we do.
20 minutes over almost, or 15 anyway, because I'm dumb. Dan warned me half an hour ago, you guys. I just didn't get it done. What guy or guys do you think the Chiefs could draft that you'll groan at?
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Burks.
I won't groan at Burks. I'll groan if they draft Christian Watson in the first round.
Okay.
I might walk off of the stream, and I might walk off. I'm gonna be pretty upset about that.
And folks, if you don't recall, Dan's running the stream this year. We're gonna have some guests and stuff, and I'll drop in from time to time. But I'm gonna be on the Locked On feed. It's gonna be available on Roku and Amazon streaming and all that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna be preoccupied. So Dan, if he walks off, show's stalled.
I'll be back, but I'm telling you right now, there's bound to be a player that either the Chiefs draft or that like is about to get drafted, and I'm just gonna be like, don't do it. Just don't do it.
DC Jayhawk, I'm with you. I would be upset if
that's
Carl
another one
Loftus-
too. I'll walk off if they draft Carl Loftus in the first round.
Yeah, I would take
Such
a
a
job over
Spags
Loftus.
move, though. Such a
Right.
Spags move.
That's why Cam Thomas is there. I'm just saying. Okay. Rock Chalk Jayhawk, I got to go get ready. You guys have been great tonight. Dan, thank you for keeping me straight and keeping this thing moving. We'd still be here another 20 minutes if it was up to me. So thank you all. Have a great night. Dan has a mock draft for you tomorrow with film on the next day. Seth and I on Thursday. You know how the things go. Prayer Warrior, thank you. You slid in just as I was about to hit the button.
Appreciate
Cheers.
you.
Thank you all for the support. We'll talk to you next time.